in honor of India's father of the nation, the man who was the architect of India's independence that India finally got on 15th August 1947. And we're also standing by for him to plant a tree, just like his predecessor, former US President Dwight Eisenhower, had done, and several other dignitaries that came here from the world over did, including Queen Elizabeth II, former Australian Prime Minister Ho Chi Minh, and many others. Rajghat is a memorial to Mahatma Gandhi. There was the Rajghat gate of the walled city opening at Rajghat on the Yamuna. Eventually, the memorial area was also called Rajghat. It was here where Gandhi's last rites were performed on the 31st of January 1948, one day after his death. The memorial to Mahatma Gandhi is located between Ring Road and the banks of the Yamuna River towards the southeast of the Red Fort. To give you an idea of the location, this is 4 kilometers away from Rajpath. A black marble platform marks the spot of Mahatma Gandhi's cremation. A wreath is being brought. Gandhi's last words, "Hey Ram," are inscribed on the marble, which is adorned with flowers. The memorial has been designed in such a manner that it reflects the simplicity of Mahatma Gandhi's life, because he was a man who was extremely comfortable in the most basic of clothing. He wore a simple dhoti, and that was symbolic of the rules of simplicity that he lived by. Mahatma Gandhi is an epitome of simplicity, and on such an occasion one is reminded of the principles of Mahatma Gandhi as well, of peace and ahimsa, which is non-violence, of maintaining the lowest carbon footprint possible, because Mahatma Gandhi's life was one of the lowest carbon footprint. And you are seeing US President Donald Trump and First Lady of the United States of America, Melania Trump, standing and paying respects to Mahatma Gandhi after having laid a wreath. This stop is extremely important in terms of the emotional relationship that India and the United States share. In terms of symbolism, this stop is extremely significant. Foreign dignitaries make it a point to come to Rajghat to pay respects to Mahatma Gandhi. US President Donald Trump had gone to Sabarmati Ashram in Gandhinagar, paying tributes to the Mahatma, trying his hand at the charkha. He mentioned at the Motera Stadium speech yesterday that he will be coming to Rajghat, laying a wreath, and also be planting a tree in memory of Mahatma Gandhi. 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi is being globally commemorated. In fact, the United Nations also paid tribute to Mahatma Gandhi with solar panels installed on its roof. That was inaugurated in September last, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi was there to attend the last session of the United Nations General Assembly. So Mahatma Gandhi forms a strong bond between India and the United States, and between India and several countries. He is a man who is revered the world over for the principles that he lived by, for having ensured India's independence without the use of violence. One is reminded of the principles of Mahatma Gandhi on such an occasion. So the wreath has been laid by the Trumps, and now we expect the tree planting exercise also to take place. Dwight Eisenhower had planted a tree, just like Queen Elizabeth II, former Australian Prime Minister Gough Whitman, Ho Chi Minh, and several other dignitaries have. This is the wreath that was laid by the Trumps at Rajghat. And now we are standing by for the tree planting exercise. So that was a tribute to Mahatma Gandhi by the Trumps, and we continue to be joined by Professor Vijay Lakshmi. Professor Vijay Lakshmi, your word on the way the whole world is commemorating 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. At the UNGA, we saw how several solar plants, in fact 123 of them, symbolizing the several member states of the UN, were inaugurated on the rooftop of the United Nations headquarters. Your thoughts on the way he is revered the world over?
Well, I think it speaks for India's emergence on the world scene in such a non-violent and principled way. It takes the heartbeat of India of today, but it connects it to India's birth, you know. And the relevance of Mahatma Gandhiji on a world stage is also indicative of the kind of heroes that we are looking for today. In a troubled world, the words of peace are alone not enough. The means towards achieving peace have begun to capture the imagination of world audiences and world governments.
Professor Vijay Lakshmi will take this forward. We are now seeing how US President Donald Trump is writing in the visitor's book. He did that at the Sabarmati ashram as well, where he thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the hospitality extended to him. And now this is yet another occasion for US President Donald Trump to pen his thoughts on the Rajghat, on Mahatma Gandhi, on the kind of hospitality that he's been extended by India in the course of his first ever visit as US President to India. Melania Trump looking by as US President Donald Trump pens his thoughts at the visitor's book at Rajghat. It's a moment that touches millions of hearts in India and the world over, because Mahatma Gandhi is revered for his sacrifices, for his endless contributions to India's freedom struggle. His global stature is unrivaled. Not just India, but the world is celebrating 150th anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Vaishnav Jan has been sung by musicians the world over, and that shows how Mahatma Gandhi continues to be a strong bond between India and the rest of the global community. A Gandhi Peace Garden was also inaugurated when Prime Minister Narendra Modi was in New York. That was in September last, for the last UNGA. And there were several world leaders who had gathered there at New York to pay tributes to Mahatma Gandhi. A stamp was also released in honor of Mahatma Gandhi in New York. So that connect between India and the United States, which is the Gandhi Connect, is now growing stronger. United States has been visible in terms of commemorations to Mahatma Gandhi. Donald Trump continues to pen his thoughts in the diary or the visitor's book at Rajghat, a memorial to Mahatma Gandhi, where the last rites of Mahatma Gandhi were performed on the 31st of January 1948, a day after his death. That's the Rajghat where a wreath has been laid by the Trumps, and now Melania Trump penning her thoughts as well. A solemn moment and a moment of celebration as well. A pensive moment, and you are seeing a bronze bust being gifted to US President Donald Trump and First Lady of the United States of America Melania Trump by Union Minister Hardeep Puri. Yesterday also at the Sabarmati ashram, mementos were presented to the Trumps that included a statue of 3 monkeys that symbolize what Mahatma Gandhi always believed in: hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. Mahatma Gandhi lives in the hearts and minds of millions of Indians and in the hearts and minds of all in the global community. For 2 years, India and the global community are celebrating the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. The wreath laid by Donald Trump and First Lady of the United States Melania Trump at Rajghat, the memorial to Mahatma Gandhi. Earlier in the day, we saw how the ceremonial reception was accorded at Rashtrapati Bhavan to Donald Trump and Melania Trump. And now you're seeing how the Trumps are leaving the Rajghat premises after having paid the tributes to Mahatma Gandhi. Donald Trump had stated yesterday at Motera Stadium that he will be laying a wreath and planting a tree at Rajghat in honor of Mahatma Gandhi, who's revered all around the world. Foreign dignitaries visit India and make it a point to pay respect to Mahatma Gandhi by laying flowers or wreaths on the platform like you are seeing. This place also offers lessons on the life and philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi in the form of a Gandhi Memorial Museum, where films are shown on his life and philosophy. Remembrance ceremonies are held every Friday at Rajghat, along with prayer sessions held on Gandhi's birth anniversaries as well as death anniversaries. Gandhi's last words, "Hey Ram," are inscribed on the marble, which is always adorned with flowers. And now, US President standing by, a symbolic gesture of planting a tree, filling in sand, the Trumps, thus planting a tree in the premises of Rajghat. He joins several dignitaries by doing that because trees labeled near the platform within the complex were planted in the past as well by various dignitaries, including his predecessor and former US President Dwight Eisenhower. There's a Gandhi Peace Garden in New York that was inaugurated when Prime Minister Narendra Modi was in New York, that has the trees that symbolize the 50 different states of the United States. This is extremely important considering that Mahatma Gandhi had the lowest ever carbon footprint. His was a life full of simplicity. He adorned a simple dhoti and believed in respecting Mother Nature, not exploiting it at all. And that is why planting a tree is a mark of honor for Mahatma Gandhi. You're looking at Trump's engrossed in a conversation with Union Minister Hardeep Puri. Perhaps Donald Trump would be asking him about the history of Rajghat, the life and philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi, and the relevance of Gandhi's life and philosophy in contemporary times. The world needs the principles and values of Mahatma Gandhi today more than ever before, considering the conflict situations that have emerged in the recent past between different regions of the world, the growing challenge of extremism and terrorism. As the world unites, as India and the United States unite in the fight against radical terrorism and extremism, these principles that Mahatma Gandhi stood for, the values that he lived by, become extremely significant. Mahatma Gandhi's role in India's freedom struggle cannot be overemphasized. He led the freedom struggle that connected the whole of India, from South India to North India, Central India, Western India, Eastern India. There were several movements that Mahatma Gandhi spearheaded. He joined the Vaikom Satyagraha in Kerala that had a lot of impact on the social life in South India. Besides that, the time that he spent in Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar also shaped the Indian independence struggle. We've seen the Trumps now moving out of the Rajghat complex after laying the wreath in honor of Mahatma Gandhi and planting a tree in honor of India's father of the nation. So, Professor Vijayalakshmi, we're talking about how important Gandhian values and principles are in contemporary times.
Well, yes, but I have also mentioned earlier, Munmun, that the message that Gandhiji brings is also relevant to this generation of young people who are waking up to modern India and modern world that they live in. But in particular, the Americans, especially the civil rights movement and those who are connected with it, and those who have, in fact, the grandson of Martin Luther King visited India and had been very, very clear about how impactful Gandhiji's message was. So I think both in terms of inspiration and aspiration, a Gandhian philosophy still holds a huge message for the humanity. And it also appeals as a socially integrating force in terms of becoming, as you mentioned, simple, living with nature. And I think largely you're seeing smaller movements in the world today that are going towards organic farming, organic food, living with, not exploiting nature, using resources. A little should go a long way. All these philosophies are seemingly resonant with not just, people who sit and think about these things, but who are also young people whom you're seeing a large thing. And another thing is, because of the technology we have today and the kind of Twitter and social media that has taken over communications in such a mass and rapid way, you have these ideas also becoming again, a kind of robustness has come back into the thought processes of people in terms of accommodating Gandhian philosophy into daily life. And I think simplicity, inspiration and aspiration, all the three words describe India. It's not only India who's fascinated and continues to be inspired by Gandhiji, but I think a larger message for the world.
Absolutely, and now we are also expecting a lot of formal engagements in terms of substance and outcomes to play out at Hyderabad House once the agreements are signed and exchanged and press statements take place and a joint statement is issued.